What's going on, everybody? Hope you're going real well. Welcome back to the From the Stands podcast. On today's episode, we've got on Shineah Goody from the Port Adelaide Football Club. Hopefully you guys enjoy. How'd you first get into footy?
Yeah, I've always sort of liked being involved in any sort of activity, being outside and everything. So at the time, I think I was just doing basketball, netball, and a bit of golf. And then I'm pretty sure the A grade coach back at home at Edithburgh for the Southern Eagles, he sort of suggested that I should go out with the boys for under 12s. And then, yeah, it sort of just went from there.
When did you find out you were going to be playing for Woodville West Torrens?
It was sort of because they've got so many like underage sort of programs and that. So I was sort of linked with them through the zone. And then when I was 14 or 15, I was invited out to the pre-season, and then got selected to be in the team from there, and then sort of stayed in that team for 3 years.
And playing Sample W at such a young age against the older girls, do you feel like that's prepared you for AFLW?
Yeah, I feel like we're so lucky in SA because, like in Victoria, and that obviously with their leagues, they have to play against like their own age, so they don't really get experience to those bigger bodies and that. But I feel like we're so lucky in SA that we do get to be exposed to those bigger bodies, and especially having some of the AFLW girls come back as well and getting to play alongside and with them is just sort of fast tracks your like skills and everything.
You were taken as an expansion talent pathway signing. When did you find out, and what was that day like?
So there was a period of when clubs could pre-sign us and that. So I'm pretty sure I said that I'd go to Port Adelaide as a pre-signing on Monday, and then but because I was back home on the York Peninsula, and I'm pretty sure school had only just finished, so I sort of had to organise to come over to training, but I didn't actually think that they would come out to training. So I just went to training thinking it would just be a normal training and everything. And then Juliet, Dunny and Naomi, they came out and sort of, just presented me my jumper and everything. So, yeah.
That's really cool. Did you have a chat with any other clubs before nominating Port, or was it always Port Adelaide?
Nah, I was considering going into the national pool. So I talked to maybe 12 other clubs or so, and I was lucky enough that they were interested in me, and just to go through that whole process and sort of decide what I wanted to do was a bit difficult, but I mean, with the people around me, I think we made the right decisions.
How have you found being at Alberton so far?
Yeah, it's been so good so far, and hopefully that progresses into the future. But I mean, because in the women's competition, we have such a big gap between getting drafted and when pre-season officially starts, unlike the boys where they normally get drafted and then like the next day they go into training. So it's been so good to catch up with all the girls and go to the optional skills training, and that's to just sort of get to know everyone and build those connections, which has been great.
Yourself, Lauren Young, Molly Booksbury and Piper Window and Alyssa Brooke were all added to the Powers list from junior ranks. There's a lot of strong footy talent in that list. Do you think that Port now have a list that can compete at the top level in coming years?
Yeah, I feel like Port in the competition have probably a list that has the most talent on it. So yeah, it's a really exciting time to be a part of that program and also to hopefully push for a bit more success in the competition.
You won an MVP at 16 years old in 2022 for the state team. Did you see it coming at all?
No, I was just more glad that we got that we won the championship. So that was way better than getting the individual accolades.
What did that do to your confidence, getting that accolade?
Because I always sort of struggle with a bit of self-confidence and self-belief in my ability. So it's just good to sort of get those little awards on the way to sort of solidify that you are okay at footy and that the people around you also think that as well.
Team or a player that you're particularly looking forward to playing against?
Probably Brisbane, just because obviously the success that they've had in the competition, and I always love watching what Ali Anderson does as well. So hopefully if I get a game to play along or just to be on the field with her really, which would be awesome.
Might have to ask for a few tips and tricks when she's running around in the middle with you.
Yeah, might have to.
Who did you have your first conversation with at the club, and what was that like?
I can't even remember because like we obviously with like Molly and Loz, like we were already training once a week with them during last season, so it's like we had already sort of built a lot of connections with a lot of the girls and some of the staff as well. So it was a pretty casual transition to actually sort of being one of the players in the team. So it's like, but I think like once I officially was drafted to the club, I think I went out with coffee with maybe like Dunny and Maz and Ange and that after one of the running sessions. So yeah, that was pretty good to sort of, well, not the running, I was dead after that, but getting to know all the girls and that was good.
Has there been a massive difference between the training standards at a Sample W level and the training standards at an AFLW level?
I feel like with Eagles, because Ro's obviously been involved in all of the footy that she's been involved in, but especially at the Crows, she really drove the standards to try and align as close as possible with like AFLW and what they're trying to achieve. But again, it's just another big step up with an intensity and everyone wanting to get better and doing all of those extras and everything. So yeah, it's obviously a step up, but I feel like with the high performance and everything that Ro and Paul at Eagles were able to create, it hasn't been too much of a big jump.
Who was the teammate you were most nervous to meet?
I think just all of them because I mean, they're AFLW players, so it's pretty surreal just sort of being in that caliber and yeah, just meeting all of them. But then, as I said, like we trained with them during last season, so I mean, getting to be alongside Erin Phillips was pretty crazy. But obviously, she retired now, so yeah, just all of the girls really.
Learn a lot from Erin at your time training with Port Adelaide before you got drafted?
Yeah, obviously it was pretty because we were only allowed to do once a week, and so it was obviously we're trying to put our best foot forward and sort of learn all of the systems and that, but you're not wanting to annoy any of the girls because they're obviously trying to focus on the season ahead and everything. But I mean, just watching Erin train and everything, it feels like everything stops around her and she just has so much time and everything. So just yeah, watching how she went about it and everything was pretty crazy.
For someone that hasn't seen you play before, how would you describe your playing style in 3 words?
Geez, in 3 words, maybe courageous, fast. We'll just stick with those two. I don't know a third one.
Pretty good 2 words, to be honest. And last one from me as well, and we really do appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Your goals for season 2024?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just sort of learning as much as I can around and doing all of the extras in that to hopefully push into the team and get an early season debut. But yeah, that's obviously the main dream to play a game of footy. But I mean, it's not just going to come without any hard work and everything. So I'm really trying to prioritize this off season 6 months or whatever and really doing a lot of extras and focusing on trying to build a bit more muscle and yeah, just learn as much of the game as I can.
Thank you very much for coming on. We really do appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for having me.